Hi there. I wanted to do a video letting you know where I've been before I start making regular content again. I'm planning on doing a lot of shorts in Pride Month, which is upon us, and maybe a couple of longer form videos, because I won't be as busy then and should be able to get back on the YouTube track. There's just a couple things I wanted to talk about before I just jump back in. So basically the reason I've been gone is I was really busy in March, and then my friend died early April, and that really effed me up. And then I was really busy again in May, and still somewhat effed up. My friend's name was Lucifer. That was a name that they chose. And they actually named themselves after luciferase, which is a chemical that allows bioluminescence to happen. And it's in various plants, and it's also what makes fireflies glow. So I did an illustration of, or kind of a comic of, a firefly turning into a star for them. Kind of like that one scene from a Disney movie, but also kind of like the general idea that exists in society. I'm not sure if it comes from a certain culture or not, but of our loved ones turning into stars when they die. And I might be doing another memorial piece of art for them later on that is like a collection of bioluminescent plants, because they were very into gardening and growing things later on. So if you see that later on, that's what that's about. They were 22 years old, and it was sudden and not of natural causes. And there were several things that kind of just had to keep being done during that time. So what cope I had went to doing those things and not to my YouTube hobby. I bring it up not as like as if you need an explanation, because I obviously haven't like hurt anyone by not posting YouTube videos, but just because I like to like be fairly open on here, talk about the things that are important to me, and Lucifer was important to me. Anyway, my volunteer work, the biggest event that we work on, we just had a few days ago. So we're all going to kind of take a break for the next month probably, except for having a table at Pride. I'm going to have more time to do my hobbies, and my hobbies are, healing and help me to process stuff and find joy. So that's why I'm going to kind of lean into those for a little bit. And we'll see if I get busy again, but as long as I have the time and capacity, I'm going to do some more YouTube. And there'll probably be a bit of an extra focus on gardening, because this year, for one, I always like to do a little gardening content around this time of year, but also because I am working on going more permaculture-y in my stuff, and like sharing that journey will be fun, hopefully, and like growing more and more like biodiversity and native plants and what are they called? Perennials, and hugel culture and all that fun stuff. But I am also going to hopefully have book content. I also haven't been reading hardly at all new books. I've been rereading some old books, but not really finishing many new books for the last 3 months. So I really don't have much reading to update you on. I did read Ghost Roast by Chanel Gibbs and Shanae Gibbs and Emily Cannon, which was really good. I might do a little short review of it at some point, but it's a graphic novel and I enjoyed it. And then I have a little book stack here. This is my little haul from the last 3 months. We have Rain Is Not My Indian Name, which I've read before from my library, and so I know that I like it. But also I collect some books during the year that I plan on giving away, featuring in giveaways for my group. Like we just had a giveaway at our recent event that included some native literature, so I'll probably save this for next year's giveaway basket. And Falling Leaves, which I found in the children's section of one of my local thrift stores, and I was like, that's not a children's book. It is about Adeline Yen Ma. It's a memoir. She Followed the Moon Back to Herself by Amanda Lovelace, because I need to catch up on Amanda Lovelace's work. I really love this author's poetry. I don't think I've ever liked anyone's poetry as much as this. So I want to read the last few volumes. So I bought that, and the Pango bookseller threw in this for free, Honeybee, Poems by Trista Mateer. So that might be interesting. And then I got the new Jim Crow, because I, for one, kind of want to loan it out to people, but also I want to have it to like reference for myself, because I think it's the type of book where you're going to want to reread like certain sections and like remind yourself of statistics and stuff. So I wanted to get a copy for myself. And this one was also from Pango Books. And then speaking of Amanda Lovelace, the other book that I finished was The Witch Doesn't Drown in This One, which is a lot about grief, and specifically grief about how women are treated and how it feels like kind of hopeless that women will ever have it any better. Because we're like a one step forward, two steps back kind of situation with women's rights in the US, but also around the world. Sexism thrives. Another thing that's made me busy the last month is we have a cat. We've had 3 cats, and then this other cat showed up and wanted attention and food, so we brought him into the house, and he's a bit of a handful. And we've paid for a lot of vet bills, and he's now been fixed, is at the end of his first week of recovery from that, and he's getting along with our other cats. Not great. We're doing all the slow introduction things, but it's been 3 weeks since we first brought him in. We've had a couple of semi-positive interactions with one cat, but the other cats are highly offended at his presence in the house. There was a solid 2 weeks there where Arwen would stay at the opposite end of the house and not come towards the room that we have him in, which my room is past that room, and she usually cuddles with me in my room every day. She didn't do it for 2 weeks because she was so offended by his smell. She has started doing that again, so that's a really hopeful thing, but it was very distressing for a while there. And of course he requires a lot of care because he can't come get us for attention necessarily unless the other cats are locked up. So he has to be locked up most of the time. So we have to go and give him attention in his room, which is a little more laborious. I will put up some pictures of said cat. His name is Beren, Beren, as in the Lord of the Rings character. I think the name suits this little cat pretty well. Also note stub tail. The vet says it may have been congenital. But it's cute as heck. Also, because of him, I have now joined the been to the ER for antibiotics after cat bite club. So that's the life update. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to leave an emoji, how about a heart of any color? And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.